Distance nerding.
Hey! What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What it do?
It's better late than never, but we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this going. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is another amazing Tuesday. You are now experiencing distance nerding at a distance. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your boy, Yung Phil. That handsome gent right there, that is the Jahmez 5000. And we're here.
And we're here to nerd together on time. Perfectly.
Exactly.
It happens.
Yep.
We're talking about anything, pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching on YouTube like you should be, you got to hit that subscribe button now. If you're listening on any of the podcast apps, drop us a 5-star review. It really does help us out. We need the help, guys. It's something that we need to grow on. Actually, matter of fact, if you haven't dropped a 5-star review yet, you gotta give us that 5-star review, or just gotta give us a review in general.
We'll give you stickers.
Exactly. I will send you stuff. Matter of fact, we will send you stuff. Shoot us a review, guys, and hit us up on the Instagrams or on your social media of choice. Let us know you hit us a review, and I'll send you something. So let's do that. Of course, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all at Distance Nerding. Speaking of sending you stuff, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. That's right. So can you head over to our website, www.streamlabs.com/distancenerding/merch and get you some of that sweet merch, guys, at Distance Nerding on IG. The link is in the bio. So let's jump into this. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on all of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some Distance Nerding lovin'. And here we go. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this. Jahmez, tell everybody what they're in store for, what they're here in store for.
The X-Men casting rumors are mutating. We have gods and devils in the rumors. Booster may still have some maybes, may still be golden. And the King of Pop is set to pop back into the box office.
Nice. I know you didn't see it because you were reading it, but Jahmez, go back to the main screen real quick here.
Yes.
And look what was on the screen. It's new graphics.
No, look at that.
Hold on. Let me go back. Right there.
That's scary. Oh. Daphne Keen. Thor. Booster Gold. Somebody is having fun with the effects. That's good.
Absolutely. All right. So let's jump right into the first sponsor here. Jahmez, tell everybody who's bringing us the show today.
Check out Colossus Girl Entertainment fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast, including Beaver State Comic-Con, Metal Art Comic-Con, Anna Medford, Tri-Cities Powerhouse, which is this coming weekend, Silver Age Comic-Con, and Gem State Comic-Con. Comics, cosplay vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and so much more. Visit ColossusGirlENT.com. Playing your next Comic-Con.
Exactly. So with that being said, and also this weekend, just throwing the shout out, we were just talking about Colossus Girl. They're doing their show, but VerseCon is this weekend as well. And I know a lot of people we know will be in attendance at that show. They were talking about it in the chat earlier. So I just want to throw that shout out there. Shout out to Brent, just because Brent is always shouting us out. So let's shout him out. So here we go. Let's get right into this, guys. It is time to jump into the first block of news. That's Marvel, because, guys, we got to talk with J. Jonah Jameson. It's straight from J. Jonah. Let's get into all this Marvel news because we've got a lot to talk about today.
Insert music here. Okay. Looks like Ghost Rider has a co-pilot after revealing Ryan Gosling will bring the spirit of vengeance to Marvel Cinematic Universe. The studio appears to be filling out the cast with another high-profile name, according to insider Jeff Schneider. Rosamund Pike is being considered for the female lead opposite Gosling in Ghost Rider.
Oh, nice.
I like this. This actually makes me happy. Well, Marvel Studios hasn't confirmed the casting. Pike would be a fantastic addition to the project. Pike has been in projects like Die Another Day, that James Bond movie. Wheel of Time. There you go. She was big in that. Saltburn, and then Academy Award nominated performance in Gone Girl, and a bunch more. Snyder report specifically describes Pike as Johnny Blaze's love interest, making Roxanne Simpson the most likely role of the casting. Interesting. So we haven't gotten confirmation that he's going to be the Johnny Blaze version, Ryan Gosling. But if he is, she's going to be Roxanne Simpson.
I mean, he has said that he
wants to be, or he wants it to be the Johnny Blaze, but
right.
Marvel hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, true. Rosamund Pike's great. I think that she is a good pick with her acting ability. I think she would be really good opposite of Ryan Gosling. So I think that's a good pick.
I like it a lot. So Ghost Rider burns into theaters in 2028.
I'm ready for it. Let's do this.
All right. We're revving up the Ghost Rider rumors. Sacha Baron Cohen's Mephisto is rumored to be headed for Ghost Rider, where the character could finally step out of the shadows and become the supernatural MCU threat that he's always been meant to be. The report comes from Alex Perez of Cosmic Circus, of course, who was asked what he's heard about Marvel's upcoming Ghost Rider project starring Ryan Gosling as Johnny Blaze. I think it's going to be Johnny Blaze. Yeah.
I really think too, and it makes a lot of sense with Mephisto. If Mephisto is the first villain, I mean, he's Ghost Rider is intrinsically tied to Ghost Rider, but I think it just makes sense, especially if you're rebooting the universe. Do Johnny Blaze? It makes a lot of sense.
Yep. All right. So Alex Perez said 2 pieces of information. Expect Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, and that Ghost Rider will already be established by the time we get to the Ghost Rider movie. Meaning, like, we'll already be introduced to Ghost Riders up and running. Kind of like Spider-Man, kind of like Fantastic Four. It's not an origin story. We're just diving into it, and he's already part of the universe.
Which, I mean, it's kind of what we want at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I love the way that Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, we just dove in and just like, okay, we're here for the ride. We didn't need the exact origin story. We don't need them, or we don't need Peter getting bit by a spider again. It just happened, and we ran with Spider-Man for 4+ movies, and we don't care about his origin story. Uncle Ben? Who's Uncle Ben? We don't need it. We're good.
Don't need an Uncle Ben.
Not going to be as good looking as Aunt May. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
All right. Yeah. So what did we say? Ghost Rider in theaters in 2028. What do you think? Are you excited for Mephisto? Are you excited for Sacha Baron Cohen to come back as Mephisto?
I think Sacha Baron Cohen did such a good job in Ironheart as Mephisto. I think that he's an underrated dramatic actor because everybody knows him for his comedies. Everybody knows him for all of the comedy stuff that he does, but like nobody really gives him the praise for the amount of drama that he's able to do. And I think that he did a really good job as a villain. I think he will absolutely kill it given another chance as Mephisto.
Yeah, I like it. I know we don't talk about him much, but Ironheart, I thought he was really good in Ironheart.
Right. Same. I 100% agree with that. I feel like he was really good.
I agree. All right, let's keep it going.
Okie dokie.
Move over, Thor. Hercules is here. A new rumor claims the next standalone Chris Hemsworth God of Thunder Thor movie might not be actually a Thor movie. Instead, the project could reportedly evolve into a movie centered around Hercules. Interesting. It's an interesting idea, especially after the way Hercules was introduced in the post-credit scene of Thor: Love and Thunder. The latest claim comes from social media scooper James Mack. There's a lot of Scoopers news going on right now. Scooper news from James Mack, who says Marvel Studios is exploring a new version of the project that shifts spotlight away from Thor and puts Hercules front and center. According to the report, Hemsworth would still have a significant presence in the film, but Hercules would become the primary protagonist. So at the moment, previous reports have suggested that Thor 5 wouldn't arrive until 2028 or 2029. That timeline lines up with Marvel Studios' current slate. There's a poll. Who would you rather have, Thor or Hercules?
That's interesting. So actually, okay. So let me close the other poll that we have right now, because I was seeing if everybody was excited to see Mephisto again. But who would you rather see, Thor or Hercules?
Basically, do you want Roy Kent? Do you want more Roy Kent?
Right, exactly.
You want Roy Kent with his nipples out? Is that
He's here. He's there. He's every fucking way. It's Roy Kent, which we're gonna get more Roy Kent.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the trailer
Of
Ted Lasso season 4?
Oh yeah, I sure did. But did you see the first episode? Because it's already out.
I did not know it was already out, so now I gotta go watch the episode.
You're welcome. Tonight. Things are getting busy.
Yeah, probably need to go watch that tonight after the show. So that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind telling more, I don't know, God pantheon stuff. It'd be nice to see how they weave it all together. You know, the gods of like different, I don't know, religions or different, you know, beliefs and that sort of thing. They kind of started to do it in the last, you know, Thor, which was fun. So it'd be nice to see what else they come up with.
Yeah, no, and Hercules was a fun teaser at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm excited to kind of see more of him and how they flesh out that character. Because in the comics, he is a fun character in the comics. I mean, it'll be fun to see what Marvel does with him and whether they have a long-term story for him.
Mm-hmm. And you know, think about it this way: we have like a pocket of the MCU that's like ground-based stuff, another pocket that's magic, another pocket that's like cosmic. We're talking about, you know, supernatural stuff with Midnight Suns. What if we have this weird god pantheon type corner of the universe that's Hercules and Thor and everybody else that's just kind of bigger than life kind of thing?
Yeah,
it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. And just kind of seeing like what that relationship ends up being and whether they have like some animosity, if there's fighting that happens between the two of them. What does a fight between Thor and Hercules look like?
Exactly. Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. All right, moving on. Marvel has officially finished filming Daredevil Born Again Season 3. That's a good thing, right? Right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Instead of it sparked waves of concern across Marvel community, with many wondering if this could end up being the final season of Daredevil, but also the final show of Marvel's television universe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting. I didn't even think about it, but really what they're saying is like, hey, so Wonder Man is canceled. We know we're getting Daredevil, but are we? And there's also WandaVision, or not WandaVision, but Vision Quest.
Yeah,
that's coming out this year. Is there anything else coming down the pipe for the MCU as far as Disney Plus goes?
I don't think so, man. And we talked about this on Thursday. Like, this may be it because they want to stop doing TV shows in general.
That's crazy to me that they would do this. I don't think that. So we're talking about the MCU, right? We're not talking about X-Men 97 or Marvel Zombies. I think those projects are cheap enough or under budget enough and has enough fanfare where they'll still make those. But I'm talking about stuff that's MCU related.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing coming down the pipe. I didn't even realize it. That's so crazy to me. So Marvel Studios hasn't announced what's next for Disney Plus live action beyond Daredevil and Vision Quest. And of course, Wonder Man was on there, but it got canceled. Will we find out more at D23? Which is interesting, which is like coming up very soon.
Right. I think we will. I think we'll get some more information from at D23. I think we're gonna get the full X-Men cast reveal. I think that we're gonna get the confirmations on one of the stories that we're gonna talk about next year. I think a lot of things are gonna end up moving around because Disney doesn't see any profit in making TV shows.
Oh, it's so sad to me.
Yeah.
That bums me out so much. I don't know if we're gonna get any more like, but then stuff that was given chances, like Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
we're not gonna get stuff like that anymore. Or like, are we gonna get another WandaVision type or Loki type show? Doesn't seem like we're gonna get it in the near future.
It doesn't really seem like they're going to be going that route just because they want to kind of change everything up. I'm not very happy about this because I feel like, doing a TV show allows them to let stories breathe. And that's kind of what we want. Like it doesn't need to be a 24 episode season like old school TV. I mean, it's fine with these 13 episode seasons, but then there are also a lot of these seasons they've been like cutting them short and doing like, oh, here's a 6 episode thing and stuff like that. And it's like, give me something that allows the story to breathe the way it needs to breathe. I think the sweet spot is like 10 episodes.
Yeah, I would say 8 to 12 is pretty good. So right around 10. Like think about Reacher. Reacher's usually 8-ish episodes. I think House of Dragon was 8 episodes. I mean, there's a lot of storytelling you can do in that amount of time,
right?
Versus a hour and a half movie. So,
right.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy to me. Like, it would bum me out for me to lose stuff like Miss Marvel or Loki. Stuff like Moon Knight. Stuff that you wouldn't normally get a shot for big screen. That being greenlit for like a big screen movie, probably not. But
yeah, I feel like the shows allow for better storytelling that where you can just tell like, long form stories and then do an event in a movie, but they aren't looking at it that way. They're looking at, okay, well, it's not making money. And I think a lot of it is also just the strategy behind the way that Disney is going about it is they want money now. And they also keep like, there's a little bit of like meddling involved in some of the stuff in the background. And it's like, guys, the best thing to do is to let the story breathe and then use the movies as a like something on there. So it might alienate some people who are like, I don't watch the TV shows, I only go to movies. Right. So then, then you have these situations where like think Mandalorian and Grogu, right? Like if you didn't watch the TV show, then that movie's not going to make a lot of sense for you.
That's true.
Well,
I think part of it is this course correction that we're seeing with Doomsday, and kind of we don't really need to connect with all the shows that were on Disney Plus. I think Disney is losing value in that for the bigger storyteller. It's weird how the audience is starting to separate, and it's right there at Disney Plus.
Yeah,
like, I think there's a lot of people that are watching the shows, whether they like them or don't like them. Let's not talk about that part, but they're there and they're connected. But then there's the I guess the majority of moviegoers that do not watch Disney Plus, and I think that's what's keying them in to be like, all right, this is the issue. We're gonna make money on movies, but the issue is people aren't connecting with it because they're not watching Disney Plus. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Next. To me, my casting rumors. This is good. There's a lot of rumors, so let me get through all this. Daphne Keen is reportedly in talks to reprise her role as X-23 in Marvel's upcoming X-Men reboot. If the report pans out, Keen would make the jump from an old Fox universe into Marvel Studios' new generation of mutants. Before we get too far into it, she's only 21 years old. That's crazy. I feel like she's been around forever, but
I know.
Keen's only 21 years old, which fits into the younger age demographic that is the cast that we're going to put together here in a second. So, in the last week or so, they announced, but we'll see. Emma Frost is reportedly being played by Samara Weaving, who's 34 years old. From Ready or Not, IFC's Over Your Dead Body, and romantic thrillers Carolina Caroline. All right. Okay. That works out. Before we go on to the rest, I guess we can also add Sadie Sink into that mix as being part of the X-Men universe.
Have you finally watched it?
Yes, I went and saw it.
Okay, good. So you know the whole deal with that then.
I think by next week we can start talking about
things. Okay, that's fine.
But so we have who's that? Daphne King or Daphne Keen, Samara Weaving, and then the next one is Kit Connor, age 22, from Netflix's Heartstoppers, A24's Warfare, and the upcoming Elden Rings film as Cyclops.
Right.
Have you seen him? You got pictures of him?
I've seen pictures of him. I feel like he doesn't fit Scott that much for me, but I mean, I also know, like, I trust the casting because their casting is always on point.
Yeah.
So
see, I think he fits like a young Scott, and the way I feel like I look at him and I compare him to, say, James Marsden, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that. Like a younger James Marsden. So I'm like, I'm okay. I can see that happening. All right. Next character. How about Professor X? So this one has a lot of names attached to it, but Christopher Abbott reportedly tested for the role and potentially emerged as the latest frontrunner for Professor X. Tony Award nominated actor whose recent credits include Craven the Hunter and the Wolfman, right? Come on now. The Tony Award nominated actor who also's recent credit. I read that part. I know there was a few other people that were also up for Professor X.
Right.
And then we also have Asa Germain, Sam from Gen V. Do you remember him?
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. He's Schwarzenegger's younger brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that actor reportedly tested for Scott Summers, and before Marvel made a decision, I think they're offering him the Angel role.
I can see him as Angel. I can see that. Yeah.
I think in the last month or so, they brought in a bunch of actors, and now they're just kind of shuffling them around to see who fits where. But I think they kind of have this like core group of actors are like, this is who we want to see in X-Men. Now we just got to put them in the right roles.
Right.
So let's talk about Beast. So according to Scooper Daniel Rickman, Charles Melton, best known to a lot of fans for playing Reggie Mantle on Riverdale, has walked away from the Beast role after weeks of reports connecting him to the character. Rickman also claims that the full X-Men cast reveal will be coming at D23, which is this coming weekend. So we'll see if Charles Melton will be part of that.
Well, he's also saying that it might not happen anymore. So, I mean, like, and the only reason it wouldn't happen is because they don't have the cast officially in play. If somebody walked away, then that's like, okay, cool. We need to go to the next person that we had and have a contract signed before D23. So, I mean, like, it's the only reason that they wouldn't do the casting announcement is because they don't have everybody locked down, you know?
That's a good point. for whatever reason.
Right.
Like maybe it's just like I committed to this other thing, so we just got to work that out. But he might not just be announced. But I think that's also key that Rickman said is that D23 is when we're gonna jump off with all the X-Men stuff.
Right.
So with all these casting rumors, is Marvel getting ready for a fully pull back the curtain on the X-Men reboot news? I think so.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's a lot of potential for different people that they're looking at for all the different characters. I've been seeing a lot of stuff for Storm. I've been seeing a lot of rumors for Rogue. I mean, we're not going to know anything until D23, and if they do the announcement at D23.
Yeah. I've heard a few Rogue casting rumors. I
Mhm.
left it off this because none of them seemed like official like the way these ones
Yeah.
felt like multiple outlets were reporting. So I just
Okay.
I just stayed with these.
I think Kit Connor and
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving are the only ones that are like set in stone.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely going younger. Definitely going younger.
Definitely.
All right, let's keep it going. Does Marvel even know how to Disney Plus anymore? According to a new report, Champions and Strange Academy may no longer be headed to Disney Plus. Instead, Marvel is reportedly considering turning both into theatrical films. The report comes from insider, again, Daniel Rickman, who says that both projects originally developed as streaming series are now being evaluated as feature films. Marvel Studios hasn't confirmed the report, but it would certainly line up with the studio's current direction. So the studio's live action Disney Plus lineup has become surprisingly small heading into 2026. So it's Vision Quest and it's Daredevil, and we're done.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's seeming like they're doing. It seems like that's the road they're going down. I'm not a huge fan of this. The way that they're looking at Champions rather than it being Young Avengers, they're they're probably going to do like an ensemble Young Avengers film instead. I would prefer a TV show. You get a chance to kind of see the relationship with those characters and whether they actually work as a team. Strange Academy is kind of the same thing, is kind of seeing more of those characters kind of like fleshed out. But as long as the adaptations that they put out are telling the right story, you know what I mean?
I agree. But I'm okay with movies. I totally am. But I just don't. I really like long form storytelling. I really love series. I think it would do better as a series, especially since a lot of these characters were from Disney Plus shows. So I don't know. I hope it stays that way. Okay. Next story. Marvel. Why did you say that name? Marvel.
Oh God.
Could Zack Snyder actually end up directing a Marvel Cinematic Universe film after spending years associated with DC and helping define its cinematic universe or its extended cinematic universe? The idea of Snyder stepping over to the MCU is something few fans wouldn't have predicted. According to Scooper My Time to Shine Hello, Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige may have interest in bringing Snyder into the MCU. So no details attached, no movie, no characters or timeline, just the what if Marvel brought over Zack Snyder. What are your thoughts on that?
I see it happening. I see it being something that Marvel is going to be like, yeah, we got to capitalize on this. The Snyder, he brings his own built-in audience, So I mean, like, the Snyder Bros are going to be up in arms about him doing a Marvel movie that will be all over that. So I'm not against it. I mean, my whole thing is I think that if anything, he should just be a cinematographer. I mean, like the dude, his cinematography skills are unmatched. As a director, he's okay. I think that It is a big move. I also think that there is rumors that he is doing something for DC right now. He just had a meeting. He posted a picture this morning where he had a meeting with Warner Brothers this morning as well.
Interesting.
And I know that James Gunn and Zack Snyder are friends, and they frequently praise each other about the different things that they've done. And he has talked about wanting to bring Zack in to have Zack do a movie. So the fact that Zack was at Warner Brothers, there's a chance that it could be, them meeting and James Gunn saying, "Hey, dude, I've got this idea. I think you would be perfect for it." Or it's him coming to do another film at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I could see. Honestly, I could see both happening. And Zack Snyder, he's kind of a free agent now. Like
Right.
he used to have that. I forgot what the universe was called, but he had that whole project over at Netflix. They kind of womp womp went away.
Right.
It only ended up with 2 movies. It was supposed to be 2 movies and
Rebel Moon.
yeah, exactly, and like a couple series, but it just became 2 movies and that's it. So I could see him being a hot commodity for DC or for Marvel. Yeah, and like what you said, he's a name. He'll bring his own audience, but also I think he'll bring audience over from whatever like his DC stuff will definitely go watch his Marvel stuff as well.
Yeah, this one's interesting because I put it in the chat and it's split 50-50 right now. So
yeah, it's interesting. So I honestly I think Marvel could do something that would kind of I don't know if it's like slap in the face of James Gunn, but if they gave him something, if they gave Zack Snyder something cosmic, like
yeah.
Oh, here do Nova, do the next Captain Marvel or something like that, and it's very cosmic oriented, which was kind of James Gunn's realm in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but you also want to just make sure that whatever you're giving him is something that's in his wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to just be like, "Hey, you should make a Marvel movie," and it's kind of like him forcing down a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? Like I definitely would want it, if he's going to make something in Marvel, I want it to be something that he feels is in his wheelhouse and fits him, right? Because he has a very, very distinct kind of look to his films.
Stylized? Yes.
Very stylized.
Yeah. I just think everything that his name and Frank Miller's name were attached to. So, yeah.
Right. And between him and Frank Miller, like they have a very similar style and look in the films that they made. So it's kind of like, you don't want to throw him in like you're going to do the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And it's like, that's not his style.
Yeah.
It would just feel really weird. He needs something that is big in scale and has like an epic feel to it.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want to give him like a small ensemble film. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. But if you think about it, like, yes, it's grandioso with like Batman versus Superman, but also when you boil it down, he only really lets a few people talk. Like Batman v Superman, it's like 10 people talking. That's it. So, yeah, I guess he just needs let him blow up a planet or a city or two, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
The chat. So the chat idea is Mike is saying I rather have him fuck up the Escape from New York reboot. I think I would like Zack Snyder's take on Escape from New York. I think that would be a really fun take. Is him taking over Snake Plissken, right? Say Wong saying yes to Mr. Snyder. Imagine Kevin bringing him in just to spite James Gunn. He wouldn't. Say Wong, and that's what I was saying before. The James Gunn and Zack Snyder are friends, and they constantly praise each other on the work that they've done in DC. So I don't see. And like I said this morning, I think you may have missed it. This morning, he was at Warner Brothers talking. I think James Gunn, he's been talking for a while about looking for a project for Zack to do. So I think that he may have like pitched something to him. If not, Zack just being at Warner Brothers to pitch another film, and then Gladiator appearing in Zack Snyder film. So that's kind of what I feel like. If they did something that was like a cosmic film and have Gladiator be, a character in that film, I think he would do a really good job with a character like Gladiator. I mean, basically you're giving him another Superman clone, and he would do a really good job with that character.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right, keep it going. Because it's Morbin time, but Morbin time may be up. Sony spent years trying to convince audiences that a Spider-Man adjacent universe without Spider-Man could work. Instead, it delivered one disappointment after another with Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter, leaving fans wondering if the experience had finally run its course. During a conversation with Matt Belloni, Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion Picture Group CEO Tom Rothman hinted that the studio could be looking at a fresh start with new creative talent from a string of critical and commercial disappointments. Interesting. In an interview with Variety, Rothman addressed the future of Sony Spider-Man related movies, and his comments make it seem like the studio has no immediate plans to continue building that universe. He said, ultimately, the audience wasn't satisfied enough with Sony's Spider-Man spin-offs. Whether that's a fair assessment or those movies, who knows? That's howling in the wind. The audience is the boss, and they didn't respond. It's as simple as that. I think they're done with it.
Yeah. The thing is again, where they messed up with these movies is trying to do Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man. There are ways to do origins for these characters, but you're not doing it in a way that's interesting enough that as a fan, that we care about it. You're also not just you guys are just kind of like doing films for the sake of doing films rather than trying to make it good.
I agree.
And a lot of what I like, again, I think what these studios are not understanding is that we don't want movies with a character just because, oh, I know that character's name from a comic book. What I want is that character that I fell in love with reading on the page. I want a film that does that character justice. And what you guys were doing was more like, oh, hey, let's pluck this character and make a movie with him, but we're going to completely change everything about the character. I understand make like changing things so that they work for film, but you can still do that in a way where the character is done right. Tony Stark is a perfect example of that. They changed almost everything in his backstory except for the basic elements of it, and it still worked.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's a good point. I think one of the things that did not help them in the beginning is that Venom did well. Because then it get kind of said, look, we know what we're doing. We don't need you, Marvel. We'll just run our own stories. And from there, they were like, okay, let's do Madam Web, let's do Morbius. They were just like, it doesn't matter. We know what we're doing. Where they didn't know what they were doing.
Right. Right. And again, I hate, not that I hate, but I mean, like, I hated that they made so much money because, again, I keep talking about the studios getting the wrong lessons from success, right? Oh, we were successful because the movie was rated R. No, you were successful because it had a good story. That's what it comes down to. Is it comes down to whether the film itself has a good story, and if it does have a good story, does it connect with the audience as far as being true to the source material, but at the same time telling a new story.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Look at Brand New Day. And again, they're not going to look at the lesson right, but Brand New Day, the majority of that story, there are elements of that story that are from the comics, but it's essentially a brand new story.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it so well. They did it in a way where you're getting the best portrayal of Peter Parker, both Spider-Man and Peter, in this film. You get a relationship with him and Frank Castle that in the comics, they have this constant antagonistic, friendly relationship, right? and you get that in this film. You know what I mean? Like you get this this entirely new organization that was essentially built from the ground up within the Marvel universe, within the Marvel film universe, the DOTC, and it's thriving as a villain organization that is going to lead to larger things within the Marvel universe because they've already set up so many anti-mutant factions and characters that are leading from this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like again, there are ways to tell new stories with these characters that still feel like they're from the comic books, and you're not getting just hey, we're gonna take a character and we're gonna put a character you know's name on it. You know what I mean? Like Morbius, terrible. Craven was a fucking sacrilege. Madam Web was absolutely terrible. It was just bad in its storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, and trying to do like, oh, we're gonna take a villain that basically looks like Spider-Man, but is not Spider-Man. You know, and just no, guys, like, you know, and on top of that, you guys own the rights to the character. Put Spider-Man in the story.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't understand why they never attempted. It feels weird that they would end their pocket of the Marvel universe without trying to incorporate Spider-Man somehow. Though I do get that if you have Tom Holland in a movie, he's going to demand a lot of money, but also Marvel's probably going to say, okay, if Spider-Man's in it, we get to say what's going to happen in this movie. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right.
So I don't know. It's crazy to me that Sony does the worst Marvel pocket of the Marvel universe, but also the best versions of the Marvel universe, like with the Spider-Man Tom Holland movies and with Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse series. Like that is the pinnacle. That's the top of the MCU style movies, but also we get Madam Web and Morbius.
Right. And Say Wong saying like which the issue would be which Spider-Man universe would it belong to? He's suggesting the Garfield universe. I like that. Just because the different takes that you had on Andrew Garfield's version of Spider-Man on the characters, it would make sense to tie them into that world, which I think they said was tied into that world. They just didn't show Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in any of those, which you could have done.
Mm-hmm. They just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
And the whole post-credit scene with what's his name? Tom Hardy.
Yeah, but I mean, like that they were also like really pushing on that he is from another universe and that those universes mesh. I'm okay with that. Again, we got a little bit of the symbiote at the end of that film, and I'm hoping that comes into play in Secret Wars.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I think there's a lot of changes happening, not just at Sony but Marvel, and I think when Marvel, I don't want to say right the ship, but finds the path that they want to take, I think that's when Sony is going to make some decisions on what they're going to do with their pocket Spider-Man universe.
I think that they should just let it go and let Marvel just do their thing. Just let Marvel cook, because the only successful Spider-Man franchises, except for Beyond the Spider-Verse, or except for the Spider-Verse movies, which are animated, but I mean, like, aside from the Spider-Verse movies, there is not one Spider-Man venture that Sony has been, at least since the reboot, Sony has been successful with that Marvel wasn't involved in.
Yeah.
The movies that Marvel was involved in, they make a shit ton of money. The movies that they put out on their own, because they don't have a Kevin Feige, they don't have anybody who actually knows the comics that's in there, they don't do well. And they should that's the lesson that they should take, is that not that, oh, we gotta let Kevin Feige do everything. No, if you're gonna do something like that, have somebody who actually gives a shit about Spider-Man and the characters, and handles those characters with enough care, like helm that if you're going to do something like that.
And I think as much as this says for, say, Tom Holland and Marvel and what they can do with Spider-Man, I think this says a lot about what who's it? Lord and Miller, what they do with the Into the Spider-Verse series, and it just shows that they know how to build a universe as well.
Yeah, they need to leave fucking Lord and Miller alone because they're every time like we hear that, Lord and Miller are not doing this film anymore because creative differences. Stop having creative differences. Let Lord and Miller cook because when you let Lord and Miller cook, they come up with good shit.
Yep, they're not the problem. You're the problem.
Exactly. Oh, we don't think that's going to make money. Hey, you know what? It's going to make money because Lord and Miller's name is on it.
Exactly.
Let them cook. Those dudes know what they're doing.
Let them cook. Okay, moving on. This is my last Marvel story.
Okay.
All right. Too long, didn't read. Also, what is a rune? Interesting. When Robert Downey Jr. walked onto the Hall H stage for Marvel Studios San Diego Comic-Con panel, he was embracing Doctor Doom's signature look with a striking green outfit. As it turns out, the jacket he was wearing wasn't just a stylish nod to Marvel's next villain. It may be hiding a message that points directly to Avengers Doomsday. One sharp-eyed Marvel fan on Reddit took on the challenge of translating the mysterious runes stitched into Downey's jacket. The fan explained that he cracked the code by writing a phonetic cipher of English by cross-referencing the Dom Latveria coffee product and both Elder Furthark and Anglo-Saxon runic alphabets. And he said, I've created a somewhat shoddy but still very accurate version of the Latvian rune alphabet. So maybe this is why the whole Latvian coffee thing was a thing. I don't even remember where it was, but
people on Reddit have absolutely no lives, and it's fine because they come up with all this shit.
They do this for us. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. So putting the messages together, the messages read, I think it was like on his sleeves, on his lapel, on his coat. So putting that all together, it read, revenge, justice, there is no promise of tomorrow. To the victor, go the spoils. Yeah. Okay.
To the victor, Von Doom, go the spoils.
Yes, there it is. All right, we'll find out exactly what Victor Von Doom has planned when Avengers Doomsday hits theaters on December 18th.
It is interesting to see that somebody took the time to translate the runic alphabet of Latvian that is created for this film to figure out what that jacket is, but it also talks about it essentially is something that that gives motivation to Victor Von Doom and what his character in the MCU is going to be.
Yeah.
It is kind of cool. So
I don't know if they needed a whole coffee pop-up thing for this, but it reminds me very much of like Saturday morning cereal boxes with codes you got to do on the back of the cereal box and put it together.
Oh, I remember that.
We just got a Marvel version of that. Okay, that's great. That's fine. So
our cereal box was a coffee shop in wherever that was.
Latveria? I don't
know. Anyways, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our Marvel news. So very briefly, we will be going into the DC side of the world because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for watching the Watchtower.
Insert music here.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. We'll insert music here. So you're saying there's a chance? While David Jenkins' take on Booster Gold isn't happening, DC Studios is pressing ahead with Booster Gold under a new creative team, giving one of DC's most entertaining heroes another chance to make his live-action debut. According to The Wrap, DC Studios hasn't abandoned the series. Instead, it's moving ahead with a fresh creative direction, and no actor has been cast as Booster Gold at this point. Damn! I was hoping Kumail Nanjiani was going to still play Booster Gold. But I understand, a lot of people on the internet are pissed because he's not a blonde white guy. So, you could still do that. Oh my God. You know who could play Booster Gold? Talking about blonde white guys.
Who?
Alan Richardson.
Oh yeah, he's too
Alan,
big. Come on, that's a lot of wasted muscle.
He actually would be way too big for Booster Gold. Booster Gold needs to be like a smaller guy. But yeah, Jenkins announced his Booster Gold project cancellation just the day after Marvel Studios shelved Wonder Man, despite the series previously receiving a second season renewal. Jenkins also reacted to that news on Threads, writing, "I've lost the thread." Okay. Don't understand the objective of the streamer anymore, I guess. What does DC have in store for Booster Gold now? Only time it's gonna tell. What do you think, man? What do you think of a potential, like potentially still getting Booster Gold?
I'm still down. I'm happy that we potentially still have a Booster Gold. I think what may have happened is DC may have revisited the script or the direction of Booster Gold, whether it was Kumail Nanjiani or not, and they said, I think it needs to get reworked. So showing that the project is not dead and they may still be casting out there. Maybe they didn't like the direction where it was going right now, or maybe it didn't feel as strong as initially thought, and then coming off Supergirl, and that expectation and that fell. I think they may be revisiting like how they approach Booster Gold. Like if you were gonna say, hey, go fan cast Booster Gold right now, I would say give me a Chris Pratt type character, to play Booster Gold. Maybe Kumail Nanjiani is Skeets, but give me a Chris Pratt or give me somebody like Glenn Powell and throw him in the Booster Gold outfit.
Glenn Powell. See, Glenn Powell actually, he does action comedy well.
Yeah.
So I think that he might be able to pull off a Booster Gold. The thing is like, I don't know. Glenn Powell still kind of gives off action star, and I need goofy.
But he'd be super goofy. Have you seen what is that show? I think it's on Hulu. Chad Powers.
That's right.
He is super goofy.
He can be goofy. You're right.
And he's willing to take on weird roles, like even he was in the Mario movie, right? He was like Star Fox or whatever.
Yeah, he was, and he did so good as Star Fox. He's
good at playing like supporting characters as well. So somebody like Booster Gold, like give me that.
Yeah. Glenn Powell as Booster Gold might actually be fun. So I think we'll keep that one in our back pocket.
Yeah.
What up, Sandra?
How's it going?
All right. Well, that is it for our DC section of the news here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our next sponsor. That's right. The show is brought to you by Debbie. That's right. Debbie is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Debbie contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. All the deliciousness, guys. Make sure you get to that. So let's move on to the next subject that we have here, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for one shots. James, take it away. Let's talk all the quick news tonight.
For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook. Let us know what you're nerding out on. Check out the Distance Nerdington post.
Yay!
Hey, you're right. Come on, man. It's my line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Chamona. There's a sequel. The King of Pop story isn't finished on the big screen, and Lionsgate already has cameras in sights for the next chapter. Following the massive success of Michael, the studio is moving forward with a planned sequel, and it's hoping to begin production toward the end of 2026 or early 2027. Michael became a thriller at the box office, earning over $1 billion worldwide. I still haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people went out for this movie.
Yeah, a lot of people complained about them not talking about the controversies and things like that. They kind of focused a lot on the music and like some of his career stuff, but they didn't get into like the controversies.
I'm
Now,
okay with that.
if they ended it in the 1987 Bad Tour, you can kind of get into the controversies of the stuff from the 90s that he went through. He went through a lot in the 90s. So I mean, it it could be a much more dramatic film if you know they make a sequel and it's talking about that up until his death.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I honestly, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm okay with him staying away from the controversy. Like, just go. It was almost like just a celebration of his music and his story up to that point, and I'm okay with that.
I think a lot of us would be, but there's like, you know, that was like the big negative that a lot of people had. But also the family, you know, the Jackson family was happy that they didn't get into that stuff because his nephew, who played Michael in the film, said specifically they did film some of the more controversial stuff that he dealt with in the 80s, but they just didn't put it in the film.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot that was left out, which is like, okay, there's going to be a Michael too. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. The film closes the words with his story continues, making the studio's intentions pretty clear. Even before the sequel received an official green light, the first movie brings Jackson's story up through 1987, The Bad Tour, leaving decades of his complicated life and career available for the sequel. With filming starting end of this year, early 2027, Michael Part 2 could moonwalk into theaters between late 2027 and the first half of 2028. Come on!
Come on now!
Come on now!
Oh!
Easy. Gonna get a hernia right there. Watch out.
Who's bad? I should like put all that on the soundboard.
When did that come out? When is it streaming?
I think it's already streaming, man.
When is Michael movie streaming? Today. Yesterday.
Oh, it just came out. Well, what's it on?
This is the thing. It's on Stars.
Oh, and I don't have Stars. Okay, so let us continue on to the next story here.
All right. You know, I think I do have Stars.
You have cable, so you can do that.
I don't have cable anymore. Thank you very much. It is 2026. I do not have cable. And that's not how cable works. I can't just pull up Michael Jackson's movie on cable.
If you have cable, then you have a way to get into the Stars app where you can pull it up on demand.
Yes. If I have cable, that means my back is probably hurting too. I should go see
that. It means you need to go. You actually if you still have cable in 2026, you guys got to go get your prostate checked.
Check your prostate. No, wait. All right, never mind. Okay, sorry. Next story. Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy. All right, Warner Brothers has confirmed a live-action The Jetsons movie is in development with Jim Carrey attached to star. It's a pretty wild combination of actor and property, but it actually kind of makes sense. The original animated sitcom debuted in 1962. And imagine an American family living a century into the future. Warner Brothers revealed the project is in a shareholder letter, which discusses the movie plan for 2027 and beyond. Interesting. So real quick, thoughts. Initial reaction. Jetsons movie, Jim Carrey involved. Thoughts?
I feel like this is a little bit late because this is something like the boom of these Hanna-Barbera cartoons into films was like a mid to late 90s thing.
Yeah.
Right? They did Scooby-Doo, they did Flintstones, they did all that, right? I feel like they are running a little late on this, but I think there is a chance for it to thrive a little bit better because we have better technology now to make something like this. Like, imagine how chintzy Rosie the Robot would have looked in a 90s movie.
Exactly.
Right. But now you can like have her. I mean, it might still be chintzy, but I mean, like, they can have her do all this. Jim Carrey as George Jetson. I don't know how I feel about that. And it's funny that George. It's funny that Jim Carrey, being someone who said that he was quitting acting and then came back for 2 more films because he really liked playing Dr. Robotnik, is now signing on to play George Jetson.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. But for some reason, I feel like, assuming that he's playing George Jetson, for some reason I could see him in that role. Even though George Jetson is he's kind of a bumbling idiot, but he's also like the straight man of the show.
Right.
But I think for some reason it just works in my brain that he could play George Jetson.
So hear me out.
Okay.
Danny DeVito as Spacely Sprocket.
Okay. All right. It's not bad.
It's only because I can imagine Danny DeVito yelling at Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
About how he's late to work and everything like that.
All right. The studio didn't offer much in the way of story details, but it did confirm the most important pieces of information. Beyond 2027, the slate will continue to leverage iconic intellectual property, including a live-action Jetsons film with Jim Carrey. The same letter also referenced future installments of The Matrix and The Batman. Interesting.
Oh, God. Okay. The Matrix, we don't need more Matrix films. And I know they want to cash grab that. But we don't need more Matrix films. Batman, I know they're doing more of that. They've got like 2 different other Batmans that they're doing, plus animated things that they're setting up for Batman. So I mean, like Batman, I understand, right? The Matrix, they don't need to do more Matrix stuff unless it's like more animated Matrix stuff, because the animated Matrix film that they did was actually really good. I don't think they need to do more Matrix things. It's they tried to do it again and it just did not catch on. And it's like, okay, you guys are gonna third tries the charm. And like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a big enough IP where they don't want to let it go. But again, I don't think they know what to do with it.
Yeah, like I said, do something animated with it. I think an animated one would be good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. By the way, so again, it came out in 1962, talking about American family in the future, a century in the future, which would put it in 2060. Which doesn't feel that far off for some weird reason.
Yeah, I mean, they really would need to push it out. Like, oh, okay, hold on. Did you just say what year the original Jetsons was in?
1962. So that would
right.
In 2060 ish. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying is like what year the original Jetsons took place in. So the show was in 1962, but like what year did it take place in is what I was asking.
A century ahead, so 2062.
Okay, so so I mean, they would need to do like 2162 for it to make for it to make sense, or 2127.
Yeah. Give me that. I'm okay with that. Give me that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going here. All right. If gods can get recast, no one is safe. Prime Video's God of War TV series has already hit a few unexpected bumps during production, and now it sounds like another major change is on the way. According to a new report, the series is expected to recast Atreus, another important young character, for season 2. Interesting. So while that may sound surprising at first, fans of the games will probably understand exactly why it's happening. According to the casting description obtained by MP1ST, MP first. MP first. Okay. The actors playing Kratos' son Atreus and Thor's daughter Thrud in season 1 are expected to be recast as older teenage actors when the series moves into its second season. It got a 2-season order.
Right.
So I know we're getting this weird, casting shakeup with God of War, but it actually makes sense. So the story was being told across the acclaimed Norse saga between God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. We're seeing a lot of character development and growth within that time span.
Yeah,
So
and I mean
it makes
you're
sense.
you're aging up the character, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. It's like Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, season 1 and season 2.
Right.
Yeah, that's just how it's going to happen because that's what the story's asking for. So no big deal, right?
Mhm.
Are you okay with if they bring in Dave Bautista to play
I wouldn't have a problem with Dave
Kratos?
Bautista as Kratos. I think he's a good actor. I think he, yeah, again, he just put on a bunch of muscle. Like,
Mhm.
funny how he lost all this muscle so he can get different roles, and then put on a bunch of muscle so he can play
Mhm.
these characters all over again.
He's like, that's where the money is.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, I was trying to get other roles, but I mean, I kind of still need to play buff characters. And like, Dave Bautista makes a lot of sense. Like like in all reality, my first pick would have been a young Paul Levesque, but he's too old to play the character now. So
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
mhm.
You know what? Who I thought would have been cool, but he's already tied up with a bunch of other things. But like Alan Ritchson as Kratos, throw a beard on him and see what happens.
He would have to cut his hair though. He'd have to go bald.
Okay, sure. Did you know he sings too?
Yes, I do. And he was a male model before he got into all that, right?
Obviously, he was a male model before all of that. Yes.
Exactly. All right.
All right, moving on. Your invitation has been revoked. David Fincher has been developing an American version of the Squid Games for Netflix, but the project has reportedly been killed. Get it? Killed? Netflix killed. According to the playlist, sources close to Netflix say Fincher's planned Squid Game project isn't moving forward. Exactly what the filmmaker has planned and remains something of a mystery. Netflix hasn't completely abandoned the idea of a Squid Games international storyline yet. Instead, there may be loose plans being discussed for regional spin-offs or set in different countries. As for Fincher, he's okay. Fincher's going to be okay. He's currently directing The Adventures of Cliff Booth, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel starring Brad Pitt.
Yeah. And again, I thought that this was interesting that number one, Tarantino is willing to give his property to someone else. And of all people, it's David Fincher. So I mean, like, that's going to be interesting to see. As far as this goes, as far as like Squid Game America, I had already said before, I didn't feel like this was necessary.
Right.
I didn't feel like it was something we needed. I was happy with, or I am happy with the just continuing with the Korean show because they're already going international. So it's just like let it go, guys. Just let them continue to do it. Maybe eventually they come to the US on their own.
Yeah, bringing it to the US is an obvious choice, but give us a season or two of Squid Game International or something like that, or like what you said, it's in Korea, like do one in, I don't know, Brazil or something else. And it could still work eventually leading up to like Squid Game America, whether David Fincher's involved or not.
Right.
But it still doesn't take the show or the concept off the board. I think it just because it's maybe reshuffling things with David Fincher concentrating on the Cliff Booth movie. Like, all right, let's just pause on the American version of Squid Game and let's see what else we can do. I don't think Netflix is going to walk away from Squid Games. They have an interesting way of taking an IP that works that may have ended or run its course, but reinventing it, like the way they're doing Stranger Things Tales from 85.
Yeah.
I think that's a brilliant way to continue stories within that universe for the fans of that show without meddling with making the actual series run too long.
Right, for sure.
All right. I don't know. Put a poll in the chat. Do you want more Squid Games or something like that? What's weird though, my kids will come home like, "Oh, how was school? What'd you do? What'd you do at recess? We played Squid Game." What? How do you play Squid Game at school? They're like,
so who died?
yeah, exactly. But it sounds super scary and like we should be worried, but it's like that's what they just call red light, green light now. They don't know it as red light, green light. They know it as Squid Game. So, oh, we played Squid Game. Like, oh, okay, I'll take it for now, I guess. It's weird. Also, let me talk to your principal. All right, next story. New IP for Disney? Well, sort of new IP. Disney Plus has ordered a pilot for Spaceship Earth, a new TV series inspired by the classic Epcot attraction housed inside the park's massive geodesic sphere. Rather than simply turning in the ride into a straightforward adaptation, the creative team is using its ideas about humanity, communication, technology, and history as the foundation for a much bigger story involving teenagers pulled together from different points in time. How do you say his last name? Jason Fuchs? Let's go with that.
I think it is pronounced Fuchs.
I don't give two Fuchs if I'm wrong. So Jason Fuchs, co-creator of It, Welcome to Derry, and writer for Netflix live-action My Hero Academia, will serve as showrunner and executive producer alongside executive producer Michael Waldron from MCU, things, who has been a driving force writing Marvel projects like Loki, Doctor Strange, Doomsday, and I didn't realize this, he also wrote Heels for Stars.
Oh shit, he wrote Heels? Nice.
Yeah, excellent show. So for now, Spaceship Earth only has a pilot order. Get it? Spaceship Earth pilot.
I see what you
pilot order. There's no guarantee we'll actually get to watch a full season take off. Get it? Take off.
I see what you did there. Hold on.
I needed that. That's good.
Yeah, there you go. I big my friends up. All right, bigging you up right there.
To be honest, I know nothing about Spaceship Earth. I've been to Disney World, but I didn't get to see Epcot, so I have no attachment to Spaceship Earth. I don't know anything about it.
I've never been to Disney World, so I have no idea.
Yeah, okay, Disney Plus. Well, what's nice is Disney Plus is getting a project. That's good. It's not Marvel. It's not Star Wars, but
it's not Star Wars.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. All right. Stone by day, warriors by night. More than 30 years after Gargoyles first brought Goliath and his clan to the rooftops of New York City, it looks like Disney's cult favorite animated series is finally getting a comeback. Original series star Brett Spiner, Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, has revealed that a new animated Gargoyle series is in development. No official statement from Disney or Disney Plus, but hey, D23 right around the corner. We're starting to get all these Disney rumors. So are you excited to finally get more Gargoyles?
I am 100%. I have been waiting for this for a while. I was kind of excited when they talked about doing a live action thing and Keith David was on the hook for it.
Right.
But hearing that they're gonna do more of the cartoon, I'm 100% on this. I want more of this. I want to see more of Xanados. I want to see more of all the different characters that are involved in this. You know what I mean? Like it's. I'm so excited to get more and kind of like I want the X-Men 97 treatment with for gargoyles.
Mm-hmm. Was this on after Batman the Animated Series?
Yes.
Like on Fox or whatever?
Yeah. This came out mid to late 90s.
Right. But I mean, like, I think it was like Batman at 4:00 and then Gargoyles at 4:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that, if I remember right?
Well, Gargoyles eventually ended up going to like Disney Afternoon.
Okay.
Because I remember it being like an after school show.
There you go. Yeah, I liked that whole era of a little bit darker tone, a little bit more mature tone to animation. Did so well. You know, Batman the Animated Series, Gargoyles. What was the other one you said? You said another one. I forgot. But I loved it. I think it's pretty cool. And I didn't realize it at the time, but a lot of the Star Trek Next Generation cast is in Gargoyles.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, but like Brett Spiner is in it, and then Jonathan Frakes is in it as well. And there was a few others I forgot who was in it, but I was like, why is this happening? Why do we have so many Star Trek Enterprise crew members in this show? But well, that's cool.
Absolutely. Hey, Easy Money, this is just for you. Woo!
Woo! I love it. I love it. Right. Anyway, okay. Gargoyles done. I think that was my last one shot.
That is your last one shot. All right. Well, guys, before we jump into the last section of news, we've got one more sponsor to bring up on here. Jahmez, tell them about our last sponsor here tonight.
Let's see. All right. Distance Nerding is part of the Geek Freaks Network, discovering your latest binge, debating casting choices, or still not over that plot twist. The Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. Geek out your way. Check out Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com.
All right. Awesomeness. So let's get into the last couple of news bites that we've got here, guys. It's time for the headlines. We're going to talk about what we've got left in the news here. We've got some fun stuff coming up here because, guys, a long time ago, in a basement far away, I take offense to that, Star Wars and Dungeons and Dragons are officially crossing over. The announcement came from Wizards of the Coast, which confirmed that a Dungeons and Dragons Star Wars collaboration is on the way during the Season of Rebellion in 2027. There aren't any details on what form the crossover will take. The possibilities are endless. Will the Force replace traditional magic? Will players build parties made up of Jedi, smugglers, bounty hunters, droids, and maybe one very, very confused bard? Make a lot of sense. For now, though, fans will have to be patient. Wizards of the Coast is keeping its cards close to the vest, and 2027 is still a little ways off. May the Force and a natural 20 be with you. It's all nat 20s. I am throwing that in the in as a poll here. By the way, everybody's excited for Gargoyles, 100%.
Gargoyles is awesome. If you use the Force to get yourself a nat 20, since the Force is natural, is that still a nat 20?
Yes, but also I feel like the only way to use the Force to do nat 20 is if you have like loaded dice.
There you go. There it is. Cool. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how they're going to adapt this, but it makes sense to bring in two big IPs and have them cross over like this.
Yeah.
I think this could open a lot more doors if this works out really well.
I agree, man. I think it would be fun. I mean, there's all these crossovers going on. Magic has a lot of crossovers, but like seeing a D&D crossover, like a tabletop Star Wars that is, like a 5e ruled game would be kind of fun. So we're definitely going to try it out. I'm sure Matt Aguilar in the chat is already like gearing up to play it. because it's Matt Aguilar and he plays all the cool tabletop games.
Yeah, exactly. He'll know more about it. We'll have to watch comicbook.com and wait for Matt's corner.
So it's either a
Hello there.
or a. There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Just because this is fun. WWE, the MCU, Dune, God of War, and now Darth Drax. I don't know how I feel about that. Drax. Oh no, he already is the destroyer. Never mind. Dave Bautista could be heading to a galaxy far, far away, and if this report turns out to be legit, he feels like a good fit for a Star Wars universe. Bautista has already made his mark on some massive franchises with Guardians of the Galaxy, the MCU, Dune, Blade Runner. He's in all the fun things, and now the former WWE star is reportedly jumping aboard a mystery Star Wars project for Disney and Lucasfilm. Industry insider My Time to Shine Hello shared the report on X saying Dave Bautista has been cast in a Star Wars project. That's all the information we have right now. There's no word on who Bautista may be playing. I wanted to say Bautista for some reason, and that's like I just Filipino-fied a Filipino name already. I went Jalapenoy, like I was like Fabi on his name. Who won the Bautista? I'm wondering who he might play. What kind of Star Wars character would you like to see Bautista play? Let us know in the comments in the comment section what character you think Bautista would play best.
Right now, right off the bat, he's got to play some kind of villain, some kind of force-sensitive villain. Like the way he is in like the Dune movies, he could play dark really, really well.
Yeah.
Like give him something. Like the whole thing with him is that he wants to take on roles where he can push himself, and tell good stories. We don't want just another hero type character. Like let him shine as a villain, somebody that's dark, demented, can get physical, but also very, very, I don't know how to put this. Like I keep picturing him in Dune. I'm like, give me that guy.
Yeah,
give me the Dune guy.
But like, I feel like the way, think on the opposite spectrum, the character that he played in Blade Runner 2077, that character would lend itself to a good Jedi.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
because he can play stoic, he can play measured and calm really well.
That's a good point. Good point.
So I mean, I feel like any character that you put Dave Bautista in would be a good character.
Yeah, you're right. He could definitely pull off something like that. But I want to see that Dave Bautista that can get unhinged. I want that. As long as I get that somehow, let's make that happen.
I'll crush your head like a Zarg Knight. Now I'm invisible. I can see you. Damn it. All right. Well, let's continue on here. Because again, this is fun, but again, let us know in the comments what kind of character you think Dave Bautista would fit best with. One more mission for Snips and the Sky Guy. Hayden Christensen is officially returning as Anakin Skywalker for the second season of the Star Wars series Ahsoka, and an intriguing new detail about his appearance has opened the door for something fans have wanted for years: more of live-action Clone Wars materials. If long-running rumors pan out, we can even see Anakin, Ahsoka Tano, and Obi-Wan Kenobi together in live action. According to The Direct, some viewers who have reportedly been given an early look at Anakin in Ahsoka Season 2 have pointed out that the character has a different appearance. Flashback? World Between Worlds? Something else? Ahsoka Season 2 has been pushed from late 2026 to at least 2027, making it the only upcoming live-action Star Wars TV series currently confirmed.
Interesting.
Very
interesting. It's got to be a flashback, right?
That's the only thing that makes the most sense, unless you have some kind of Force Ghost scene where Ahsoka's communing with both of them.
Yeah, or the World Between Worlds stuff.
Yeah, the World Between Worlds makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of ways where you can get them together. But I think what fans want the most is another Clone War scene with
Mhm.
all three of them fighting in live action.
Yes, I think that will happen. But I also think they're going to find a way to put Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, and Rosario Dawson somehow together on camera, like that, like an older version of Ahsoka with Obi-Wan, with Anakin, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's. I think there's going to be somehow they're going to make that happen, whether it's World Between Worlds or something like that. Somebody else actually mentioned this, and I was like, oh, that's kind of intriguing. Like, what if when we get to Ahsoka season 2, and they're exploring, was it Peridia or whatever it's called, the planet
Right.
that they're on?
Right.
Then they have the Mortis gods statue and all that. What if the Mortis gods assume like the face, the look of Anakin Skywalker?
Well, so there's been a long rumor that Anakin in death becomes the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they go kind of like that route and have Anakin become the sun, then that could make sense. But at the same time, how does Obi-Wan fit into all this, right?
Yes, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Oh, by the way, real quick, easy money in the chat. Talking about Dave Bautista, he's also playing Kurgan in the Highlander. I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm. That's why he got big again, and
Yeah.
that's why he's big right now, and that's why like they're saying, okay, well he's already ripped again. Like this is a chance for him to go and play Kratos now.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like it. Okay, back to Star Wars. I want to see Rosario, Ewan, and Hayden somehow on screen together. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I kind of want to see that.
I think if anything, it'll end up being Ewan, Hayden, and Ariana Greenblatt.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Clone Wars, more Clone Wars stories being told. So,
Which that's got to be a dream come true for Ariana Greenblatt. She's already done a scene with Christian Haydenson. Now you're doing one with Christian Haydenson and Ewan McGregor. Like that'd be amazing.
All right, there we go.
All right. Well, let's move on to the last story here because we've got one last Star Wars story to talk about here. Where does Filoni want to take Star Wars storytelling? Because there's a lot of possibilities. The expectation has been that Dave Filoni would bring the stories of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew together in one massive Star Wars crossover movie. Now, a new rumor suggests Lucasfilm may have completely different plans. According to scooper Daniel Reichman, Lucasfilm is reportedly reworking Heir to the Empire from the feature film into a limited Disney Plus series. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mortis gods. If the report is accurate, the project would act as the grand finale for The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew, bringing all of those interconnected stories to an end in episodic form instead of a theatrical release, which is what we need. Instead of squeezing years of storytelling and a huge cast of characters into a single movie, a limited series would have much more room to explore the New Republic era, resolving lingering storylines and give its characters the attention they deserve. As always, it's worth remembering that this hasn't been confirmed by Filoni, Lucasfilm, or Disney, and Disney still has time to ruin this.
Well, it's finally, this story or this episode, I should say, has been a lot of like what Disney Plus is not doing anymore.
Right.
So knowing that they want us like say, hey, Filoni, go push Star Wars on Disney Plus and make it amazing, make it grandioso. I think that's good. I think him being in charge of creative at Lucasfilm gives him that kind of pull where he goes, you know what? Disney, I know you want to put stuff in the theaters. We tried it. It didn't quite work out. Let's finish these stories on Disney Plus how they're meant to be told.
Right.
And I think they're going to be like, okay, you're right. It's not like we can walk away from Star Wars projects. Go make the best versions you can. Go.
Yeah. I need this to breathe as a series. I need this to be a series because if you try and stuff everything into a film, we end up getting kind of like this shaky again, I like Mandalorian and Grogu, but it ended up feeling like they just kind of rushed through an entire season of storylines and put it all in a movie. And I don't want that out of this. I don't want the culmination, the final swan song of all these characters to be something that is just, hey, we're gonna go and uh, um, throw it all into a film and make it feel like it's rushed. I don't want that. You know what I mean? I would like the same care that Mandalorian and Grogu had, like the stop motion that they did, the amazing on-screen work that they did with everything. The choreography was amazing. I would like that. And if you're going to do a limited series, like, if you can finish the story within 4 to 6 episodes, then do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look at what Disney has done with Star Wars storytelling on Disney Plus.
Right.
Like, it's done so well. Like, that's how things need to be done with Star Wars. I honestly, like, with the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and some of these other shows, it's done so well. If they would have put some of these in the theater, I think they would have bombed.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
letting them have life on Disney Plus totally worked out for Star Wars.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of where I sit. Is it needs to be a TV show, and if that's the plan, it needs to stick to that. And whatever executive at Disney that's trying to say, "Oh, it should be a movie. We need to make money." Shut up.
Yeah, I agree. But like the way that Filoni and Favreau handle Mandalorian, it's like, okay, they're overseeing the project, they're overseeing the storyline, but they bring in some amazing directors to oversee like episodes and certain story arcs.
Right.
Do that. Do more of that, but like on a bigger scale with not just the Mandalorian, but with Ahsoka and other series that you want to produce. Have your team oversee the story, but then bring in some of these amazing actors to help put it together. I think that works. I think it's a good formula for them.
It works out extremely well. I mean, we tend to get way better storytelling because of it. We tend to get better on-screen chemistry because of it. So I think they really need to continue following that format.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Well, that is it for our news for today, guys. So let's talk about our schedule. So this week's schedule, you are now watching Distance Nerding, and we do this every week. We talk about the news, the rumors, reviews. Will be lately we've been doing reviews as separate videos on all the social media. Of course, you can check all of our social media spots, and we put out daily videos on different things that are out there, fun stuff, everything, all kinds of stuff. Thursday, I was going to say the download. Thursdays, we have Distance Nerding interviews. Now, this week's guest, very excited for this. This week's guest is Matt Hodson, who is the writer of the new Biker Mice from Mars comics. He is, he's been writing a lot of the Nacelverse stuff. So I
Nice.
absolutely love all the work that he does. It's going to be a lot of fun talking with him and talking about everything that's going on with that. So, and of course, Fridays.
Real quick, we're starting to get animatics. There was another story that I didn't put in, but I should put it in next week. But the Biker Mice series, the storyboards are starting to come out. And they look fun.
Absolutely. And again, these comics are the bridge between each series. So definitely want to check this out. The series that Matt Hodson is doing is kind of reintroducing the characters and kind of reacclimating that world. So if you were a Biker Mice from Mars fan like I was when you were a kid, this is like a good series to kind of like a good comic to get into in order to get into the cartoon that's coming soon.
Nice.
And of course, Fridays is game night, guys. So we typically do a lot of things. Graveyard said that he has Jeopardy ready and that we may be playing Jeopardy this week. So we'll be a little bit more firm on whether we're playing or not on Thursday. So we'll let you know on Distance Nerding interviews at the end when we do our recap whether we're doing game night on Friday or not. Of course, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you can join the taco party. Head over to distancenerding.com and join the taco party. You can make it so that is the best way to support Distance Nerding. Makes it so that we can do more things. And hey, if if you guys are interested, a Patreon is coming soon, so keep your eyes out for that.
And super chat. You can always super chat us too.
That's right. You can always super chat us as well, guys. So, I mean, those are the different ways that you can support Distance Nerding. Patreon, we're going to be moving a lot of content over there. We may be doing like early interviews, early episodes, things like that. So keep an eye out on the things that are over there. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can connect with us on all the social media places. We are everywhere at Distance Nerding. And of course, you can email us at anywhere that you would like to email us, as long as that email address that you're sending it to is distancenerding@aol.com.
Yeah. All right.
With that being said, we love you all, ladies and gentlemen. James, take us home.
Bruce, go to sleep, and thanks, and keep nerding together.
That's right, buddy. Go to bed. It's bedtime.
It's school night, sir.
You got middle school now, buddy. There you go.
All right, everybody. Thanks. Deuces.
That's right. Later. And you guys have a good night. We'll catch everybody on the next one. And there it is.
Distance Nerding.